Farm Show. My name is Carlos, the guide at Secret Layers, a poultry education platform that teaches you how to start and run a layer poultry farm profitably. And today is the 22nd of March 2026, which is the day that I'm running the first ever episode of the Before You Farm Show. Now, this is going to be a long journey, and I welcome you to be part of it. It's a place where I'm going to be sharing my own journey as I prepare to start my farm. Currently, I'm still in school. I'm actually in my final year at the university, and in the next 6 months, I'll be done with that and I will be ready to start my farm. So I thought, why not share this journey, and some people who will be in the same spot like me right now, they can learn from it. Plus, I have a blog, secretlayers.co.ke, where I've been sharing over the last 8 months practical tips on how to run a profitable layer poultry farm. I also have social media handles at Facebook and X, where I've been sharing tips every day for the past 8 months. You can check it out, and if you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe. I'm currently at 341 subscribers for the past 8 months, which is actually good. I'm actually proud of that, all because of you. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe so that we can grow the channel together. And I actually want to show you around. This is actually my workstation where I prepare what I have been doing for you. So let me turn the video around. Yeah, this is actually where I study for my classes, and I'm just going to tell you one little, actually it's a big secret, I'm going to tell you right now. Let me just turn the video back. I'm actually in the process of writing a book, and since today is Sunday, it's usually the days that I write. The book, its main theme is before you start your farm. So when I was planning to start farming, I had no idea what to do. I had zero clues. In fact, I'm actually glad that I didn't know what to do, because if by then I would have gotten into farming, it would have been a disaster. So here's what I did. I went into the internet. I read every blog post that I could find. First of all, my plan was to go for layer poultry farming, because after checking a few information from the internet online, I realized that I can get an opportunity, unlike for broilers. So what I did, I went to online. I read every blog post related to farming that I could get of, related to layer poultry farming. Every YouTube video that I could, every manual, every guide that I could. And what I realized is what shocked me and what actually inspired me and motivated me to start writing this book. People don't know what to do before they start their farms. I was there, and that's why I'm saying that. Because most of the advice that you get online is actually crap, because it's incomplete and it's inaccurate. Main thing being on the factor of costs. So people just use that, get into farming, end up wasting their money, their time and their effort, and then it becomes a long-term game where they will never go back. And that's not what I wanted for myself. So that's why I decided to start writing this book. And actually today, Sunday, is the day that I usually write. And I'm not sure how many chapters, not really chapters, but how many words I currently have written down. But it's approaching the 20,000 range. And for today's video, I'm going to show you, I'm going to give you a peek of what I usually do, including my research and where I have my templates for writing the books, and basically gives you an idea of what the book is about. So, first of all, to begin with, this book here, I don't know if you can see it clearly, but it's Be a People Person by John C. Maxwell, one of the greatest leaders. One of the greatest leaders and trainers of leaders. So, from this book, what I got from it is actually how to treat customers and how farmers can do the same thing. So the book talks about a company called Nordstrom. If you are in the US, you probably know about it, but if you are from another place, it's highly unlikely that you know about it. But it actually talks about how business is about service. So you're not actually in the business of whatever you're doing, whether it's selling a widget or selling any product, you are actually in the people business. And that's one thing that I picked up from this book and I included in my Before You Farm book, that farmers need to change their mindset from being in the chicken or eggs or meat business and actually being in the people business. It actually helps you to build relationships and maintain the relationships with your customers, with your suppliers, and anybody that you come around with, including your farm employees. These are some of the most ignored people in farming. John C. Maxwell. Again, I've actually read very many books about John C. Maxwell. This is the other book. Now for this, I actually used its reference, I think 2 Sundays ago, because in my book, I'm currently in the chapter where I'm talking about Dr. Star. So Dr. Star is a framework that I created that explains the 7 traits or rather characters of a successful farmer. 7. I can list them for you. So number 1 is desire. Number 2 is resilience. Number 3 is spirituality. Number 4 is teamwork. Number 5 is accountability. Number 6 is resourcefulness, which is what I am going to write about today. And finally, it's being a reader. So Dr. Star. It has 2 R's at the end. So for this book, what I got from it is actually a point about leadership and about accountability. I can show you some of the chapters of the book. John C. Maxwell has written very many books. Let me see if I can find it at the back here. Yeah, here you go. This is actually a list of some of the books that John C. Maxwell has written about. You might be wondering, if I'm writing a book about farming, why am I reading a book and referring to a book about leadership? That's actually important, and that's one of the purposes of this show, the Before You Farm show. That's one of the things that we're going to talk about. Farming is really not about farming. You need to be a leader for you to build a successful farm, for you to build a generation farm. I'm not here to talk about building a small farm that will make you a few coins in like 2 months or 3 months, and then that's the end of it. No. So these are some of the chapters that are in the book, and this is where I currently am reading it. I'm in chapter 5 on the law of consistency. So for accountability, I got that from the law of intentionality. That is the first chapter. The law of intentionality, that growth doesn't just happen. And accountability is one of the most important things that farmers actually need. So these are the 2 books that I currently physically have, but I remember I also referred to one of John C. Maxwell's book. It's actually here. Let me show you. When I was writing about the topic of teamwork, let me see if I can find the book here. Oh yeah, it's here. The 17 essential qualities. Nope. The 17 indisputable laws of teamwork. I wrote a very interesting chapter about teamwork in the book. Something farmers need. You can't do this thing alone, and I believe you really need people. So those are some of the books that I've gotten my references from. And by the way, I am on my first draft. So my goal right now is to get all the ideas off of my head and onto the first draft. That's my goal. And I'll probably be done by the time I'm finishing school, from which I'll take a small break, then I come back and edit the first draft, so I get my second draft ready. After that, then I'm going to edit it again, get my third draft ready. Then after that, I can now start sharing the book to other people, to my beta readers, who will critique it and do everything that they can, so that I can improve and see what I can have, what I can get out. So one thing that I just want you to help me right now with, you can let me know in the comments, is what do you need to know about farming? What do you need to do to know before you start your farm? If you are in that spot, you have the dream, you have the vision, you have the plan to start your farm, but you have no idea what to start, where to start, you have no idea what you need or what to do. Let me know in the comments what actually you will need to know. If it's about land, if it's about money, if it's about the market, just anything. Let me know in the comments. Next, let me show you my plan. Or I've actually been watching some clips about how Ryan Holiday, the author of The Obstacle is the Way, The Perennial Seller, is a very amazing author, and the author of 48 Laws of Power, Robert Greene. I've actually seen how they structure their books, from how they do their research, how they write their first drafts, and how they proceed to even completing their final drafts. And let me just give you a peek of how mine looks like. Remember, it's the first draft, so don't judge me too much. It's a rough draft, and ideally you are not supposed to say it. It's supposed to be my own. I'm supposed to be the only person that sees the book, because the first draft is messy. Not the only person to see the book, the only person to see the first draft. But I'm going to give you a peek into it so that you can see how things are going and what to expect in this show. So let's switch back the camera. These are the books that I'm currently using. This is not my book. Yep, I remember I got this somewhere around my third year. I actually picked it up, so it's not mine. And this is mine. So, like I told you, don't judge me. Don't judge my handwriting. Don't judge anything. Just take a look and get an idea. So, this is the outline that I'm currently using to write my book. As you can see, I have from number 1, it's here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Those are kind of the bigger items of what I am going to include in the book. And right here, I have, this is like an outline of probably how many words the book is going to be, 30,000. This is part of my schedule of how I'm going to write it. Here we have draft 1, which is what I'm currently working on. I'm not even halfway, by the way. Then next is reviewing the first draft. Then we have improving for the second draft. Then we have testing. And this is where I'll be sending it to at least 4 to 6 people to read the book before it's published. Then after that, I self-edit it once again. Then I repeat over draft. And finally, it will end up being edited by a professional editor. Here's something actually from Alex Omozi, some ideas of how he wrote and promoted his books. I hope you've read them. The $100 million series of 3 books. Actually, good books. The first one is the $100 million offers. The second one is the $100 million leads, and his latest book is the $100 million money models, how to make money. If you haven't gotten those books, make sure you get them. You can either get an audio, the paperback, a physical copy, or the ebook. They are very great books. They actually can help you make money in farming. No lies. And here are some of the other outlines. Let me actually show you this. Like I told you, it's a first draft. This is just an outline of what's going to happen. I don't know if I'm actually supposed to show you this, but this is the outline. How many pages are these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 sheets of paper with the outline, which I actually keep updating every day because I kind of get new ideas every time. If I'm in the shower, if I'm here sitting, if I'm reading, I kind of get ideas, and that's what I include here. Now, last Sunday, this is what I wrote about: accountability. And today, the 22nd of March 2026, I don't know when you're watching this, but if you're watching this when the book is already published, I'm not sure what the title is going to be, but the main theme is before you farm, before you start your farm. So let me know in the comments if you're watching this any other time in the future after the book has already been published. So today, this is what I'm actually going to write: resourcefulness. And these are some of the points that I'm going to be expounding on in the book. Resourcefulness. Let me tell you one secret. If you're going to start your farm, you're not going to have all the money, you're not going to have all the land, you're not going to have all the great partners, you're not going to have all the market. So what actually matters is not the resources that you have, but rather how resourceful you are. And that's what I'm going to write about today. There are very many interesting stories of how people have been resourceful in this life and have actually achieved a lot. Not because they had everything. You can't, it's actually a losing game trying to have everything that you need before you start. And I hope you can now see the connection of why this book is actually important. And by the way, before embarking on writing this book, I actually searched for some books that are trying to teach farmers, are trying to give farmers the foundation that they need before they start their farm. Most of the books actually out there, even when you check right now, they're either teaching you a process of how to do something, of how to farm. For example, one of them, the world's famous author, Joel Salatin, he's written like over 15 books, but actually most of his books are dealing with the specifics. An example, he has a book called Salad Bar Beef. What does it talk about? Beef farming specifically and everything around salad bar beef. I actually haven't read the book. I've actually seen just a synopsis of it. His other books, Polyface Designs, is where it's actually like a manual that teaches you how. There's a certain way that he designs his chicken houses. You can check online, you're going to see them. They're somewhat like triangular chicken houses, and the book is actually about the designs, the dimensions, and everything to do with that. The other books I've seen is Mini Farming, Self-Efficiency on a Quarter an Acre. Yeah, it shows you how you can actually feed yourself even on a quarter an acre. And some of the other books about Joel Salatin are like about business, poultry. Is it poultry, purpose and profits? I'm not sure. That you can confirm and let me know in the comments, but that's the idea. There is no book currently, from what I've looked for online, that tells farmer, hey, you want to start your farm, don't just start on it. this is what you need to do before you start your farm. Make sure you do this, make sure you do this, make sure you do this. Make sure you have this, make sure you have this, make sure you have this. And make sure this is the kind of person you should be, and this is what you're going to expect. And that is the sole purpose of this book. I'm hoping that it's gonna help people, it's gonna help many farmers, because it's something that I needed before I started it. Plus, I have 2 other free guides. Now these are more practical. Not to say that the Before You Farm book is not practical. These are actually, they are not based on the before farming part. They're actually based on after you've started farming. So there is one free ebook, 6 simple steps to start and run your layer poultry farm profitably, which you can get it at secretlayers.co.ke. And the other ebook which I released like 2 weeks ago is Zero, cross it out, Minimal Mortality Brooding, where I teach you how to brood your chicks so that you can have the maximum survival rate for your chicks, because most chicks do die during the brooding period. So those are the 2 free ebooks that I have. You can check them out at secretlayers.co.ke. I'll also put a link in the description. Make sure you check it and get your copy. So that's it. Please watch out for the next episode 2 of the Before You Farm show. If you haven't subscribed at this point, please subscribe so that you don't miss out on the next video, the next live season. I'll be doing this every weekend, so next Saturday I'll have another episode. Just make sure you keep watching and hit that notification bell so that anytime I'm going live, anytime I upload a YouTube video, you get notified. And like the video. I actually realized that the more a video gets liked, the more it get distributed, the more people reach it, the more people get value from it. Subscribe and see you next week. Remember, I am Carlos. If you don't know me, my name is Carlos. I am the guide at Secret Layers, which is a poultry education platform that teaches you how to start and run a layer poultry farm profitably. See you next weekend.